Okay, so here I am. Increase the volume. I don't know squat about how to handle a computer or televising or whatever. But I got to put Donald Trump on the spot. I am an ongoing case of treason performed against me in the text of code of Georgia state laws, the official code of Georgia, annotated that volume 29, 2004 edition, title 40, chapter 14, subsection 7, on page 973, bottom of the page, judicial decisions, 11th Circuit Court of Appeals, congressional appointment, United States government. The judge overrules a legislative law, code of federal regulations, and creates a new law, just like totally violating the laws of the United States of America. I have been trying for 8 years now to get an attorney to help me, but I can't get one because they're all afraid of the police, the militia, and the federal government at the top. You know, the Illuminati and the Communist Party of America, Democrats, have been making an effort to take over the world and America. Oh, man. And Donald Trump has known about this for a while, and he has withheld his empowered authority, creating a continuance of the ongoing crime. And man, I can't even get any knowledgeable inclusion. So that's what this is about. This is about making sure that Nancy Pelosi, the new Speaker of the House of Senate and Congress, representatives, knows about this case of treason and the location in the text of code, which there are half a dozen different treasonous texts of code in the 2004 edition. That means that the governor, the senators, congressmen, the police are required to know law, know that the act of treason is being performed in the state of Georgia, but nobody can do nothing about it for fear. So anyways, the Civil Rights Act of 1985 makes a person an accessory by knowledgeable inclusion, whether it be before the fact, to the fact, or after the fact. And this is an ongoing RICO crime. Now, Civil Rights Act to law 1986, withholding performance to the furtherance of the crime, whether anything is said or not, still makes you an accessory by required knowledge. But I'm making real clear that the knowledge exists, because I'm telling you right now. And this needs to get to the House of the United States government, needs to get to the President of the United States government. And that man that Donald Trump just fired, or forced into retirement, the former Secretary, 4-star General James Mad Dog Mattis, is my lead attorney with his support staff. Now, by rule of law, by United States Congress, Supreme Court mandate, I am profiled by case of law to the title of Private Attorney General, congressionally, judicially mandated, but it requires being recognized by the highest, reasonably highest, mandated authority. Well, everybody from the Supreme Court justices down is accessory, and that includes the United States Attorney General, whoever that is. And by rule of law, I am entitled to 2 private attorneys of my personal choice and 1 federally approved prosecuting attorney of my acceptable choice. Well, my acceptable choice for a prosecuting attorney is U.S. Attorney John Hubbard. Okay? So if Donald Trump doesn't issue the rule of law publicly that I am a private attorney general, and that's no limitation on the jurisdiction, because as an American citizen dealing with an act of treason, I have jurisdiction wherever I go in America. But my interest is the East Coast, Virginia, Washington, D.C., on down into the Caribbean along the coast. So that's Washington, D.C., Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, and the Caribbean. My number 1 attorney manager is support staff, General James Mad Dog Mattis, which I believe that Donald may have fired him to keep him from supporting me, and put all the focus on everything else. I think what he's talking about there, about that wall, is a damn good real deal. But I can't support him if he doesn't support the law. If he creates an act of co-conspiracy treason, furthering the crime by withholding the rule of law in performance for me. You see, by rule of law, he's the big shit. Now, Nancy, as the Speaker of the House, She got grounds to impeach him if I'll support her in a court case. If he withholds it, I ain't got no support for him. But if he does his job as he has forsworn to protect, defend, and preserve the integrity of the United States Constitution, due process here, buddy. Proper process and procedure. And, you know, I have no problem putting you in jail if you don't do your job. I ain't worried about it one way or the other. I'm going to live till I die, and then I'm going to come back to the world again. You see, that's what happens. If you can remember anything, which horrible deaths are real easy to remember. And I remember too in my childhood days. But you're not qualified to understand that. But you are qualified to endorse the rule of congressional law. You know? And I might just give you some support if you'll do your job. You've known for almost, what, a year and a half, 2 years now? Trey Gowdy has known. I sent documents in to the Congressional Judicial Committee, and I'll be a son of a bitch. He's hogged them up, shut them down, closed them out, and not introduced them. Well, you see those documents that I sent to him, there are copies in various other places. You know, I mean, like the United States Supreme Court clerk's got copies. The Office of Professional Responsibility's got copies. The Secret Service, CIA, a whole bunch of other people got copies, but ain't nobody doing nothing for some reason. The 11th Circuit Court of Appeals, I went through the Georgia State Court, no attorney, no proper performance of the law of substantive rights. They seized my driver's license, and for 8 years I've been bussing it. And you know that ain't no hell of a good way to have a life, especially when you're used to having a lot more and a lot better style and being mobile and free. And you have known and you have withheld, but I can't relatively easily prove that. But this that's going on right now is substantiable, documented information. And when this video gets to the House and Senate, and they have a copy of it in the Facebook pages of United States Congress, and the documents are there, which I've already sent documents to the General and John Hubbard and hell, you know Sarah's even gotten some of them. Justice Anton Scalia, according to the opinion of a homicide detective, was murdered because of those 500 rules that modify the laws created by the U.S. Attorney's Office. And you know, I might be on that hit parade right now for this, but I don't give a shit. Because if something happens to me, you're going to be barbecued. Yeah? And all them soldiers out there that love and respect the general as much as I do, even in the least, they might take it personal against all the Senate. And, you know, I mean, that's what guns were made for, to protect us from the government when it gets stupid. You know what stupidity is? Stupidity is not taking the time to fully think things through and about and around. You know, that's stupidity. You come up and you get loud in people's face and all that. I'm sorry for you, brother. But the best place for the devil to hide is at the top of the mountain. You know, king shit. So I don't know which side of this Illuminati thing you are on. You're talking patriot on one side of your mouth, cussing down your soldiers out the other side of your mouth. You're two-facing, two-timing, switching back, and you're all about yourself. You're not about the country. I am not going to run for president or any political office and get caught up in that government shit. I am a better service to everyone, empowered by citizenship, entitled by rule of law, where I represent the United States Congress and I represent the Supreme Court, you know, and everybody up there's caught in treasonous shit, backstabbing each other, and we're going to break that shit up. Now, that's my feelings. It's vulgarly painful. You know? And it's induced by you people that won't do your job. Trey Gaudy, snatch them papers up. You know? I was going to be going to Justice Scallon Antone's court, but then he got killed. So then I contacted Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and then she got on the YouTube frequency, and she said, "Oh, I did a bad thing," and now she's worried. See, I put a trick in those paperworks that I sent her, saying that I was one of Trey Gaudy's prosecutors. Well, I am going to prosecute him, you know, when the time comes. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with him. He has done some, I don't know if that's good or what. You know what I'm saying? Who's been put in jail by him? What things have been resolved? Yeah, you're going to give him a verbal spank on the back of the hand? Don't do that no more. You know, and in that conspiracy, all them people have hurt me. They have criminalized the law. Somewhere along the line, somebody's going to have to stand up, and somebody's going to have to pay a penalty. There needs to be a deterrent to treason. And you people in government ain't doing nothing but watching each other's back with stolen American people's money. You violated the contract that you entered into. You know, the oath of office is a contract to protect, defend, and preserve the Constitution and the ethical value of the law. You breached ethics repeatedly. Now, what's Donald Trump going to do? He's going to go to this military tribunal and have closed doors where nobody hears what's going on, and he's going to try to dominate, you know, and rule these generals with threats. Because look at the way he's talked to a couple of them already in the public view. That's impeachable quality in itself. That doesn't necessarily mean prison time. Evasion of performance to furthering the crime is an act of collusion. And look back through time when he said that word collusion, because that was his recognition of the fact that he is acting in collusion. And the first thing people in collusion do is deny they're in collusion, you know? So There's enough right there for you all to get a hint. Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Oh, we the conservatives. How many billions of dollars has that group, YouTube group? Look it up on YouTube. James Comey, Loretta Lynch, Mueller. What are these people doing walking around out there? If they're committed a crime, they need to be prosecuted with real prosecution, not no watered down shit. Y'all violating every damn rule there is. And it starts with Donald Trump. Now, Donald, I like you. I think you're just as crazy and as gritty as me. And the only thing that keeps me sane is the rule of law. Otherwise, I'd be an animal just like the rest of y'all. But I know I don't think I could be that bad, even though I've been bad at times in my life. I've regretted my wrongdoings. And it's like, I've tried to make some changes in myself. The creative source of the Akashic field, the metaphysical sciences of the priest of the Akashic field, trying to get an understanding with the creative source, the mind of God, the creator, not the lesser deities. So anyways, there's the deal, Donald. Endorse my title to Private Attorney General. Contact General Mattis and inform him that he's approved as the senior defense counsel for me. And by the way, apologize to him, please. Forgive me for my emotional abruptness also. And also contact U.S. Attorney John Hubbard and have him explain to you what the title of Private Attorney General is, where it's at, and what it's all about. And you can bet this U.S. Solicitor General is accessory withholding. Yeah, the FBI accessory. They won't even accept it and create it on the books. John, shit, I can't even think of his name now. Horn, U.S. regional attorney, who hasn't bothered to pursue Justice Julia Carnes, who's unlawfully seized my habeas corpus substantium, which S-2272 had her terminated from her employment as impeachment. And President Barack Obama, at the request of Governor Nathan Deal, placed her upon the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals under Edward Earl Hubbard, Chief Justice. I don't know if that's her brother, cousin, husband, or what. But it's in the computer records, World Wide Web. You know, it's in there somewhere. And that substantiates that. And the page that I quoted, page 973, volume 29, title 40, chapter 14, substantiates documented evidence of treasonable act. And that's the 2004 edition that started, what is it, 5 years previous to that? So for the last 20 years, thereabouts, everyone in Georgia is accessory if they haven't got a documented report of making an effort to bring it to light. Yeah, knowledgeable inclusion accessory. I don't know how many government people that is, you know, judges, attorneys, prosecutors, solicitors, police officers. They're all required to know the first year of the law, which includes the articles of incorporation, and that nobody writes the law but the legislation, federal legislation, and approved by state regulation of legislation. So it starts at the top, always in Washington, D.C. And civil rights, man, violating one civil right is an act of treason. So anybody who's empowered to enforce the law against acts of treason, which have no statute of limitations, no title of security or safety, and in a case like where I'm the one that's the victim, witness, substantively identifying it, I'm the only person that can give anyone forgiveness. Not even a president can give a president forgiveness. Now, if there have been altercations in the rulings of the law in the past 100 years or so, changing that ruling, then whoever made that change has to have substantiated records somewhere proving that it was made legislatively by 2/3 of House and Senate. It's not something that a president can just write off. You know, when Johnson forgave Nixon, it wasn't as an authoritative forgiveness of titled empowerment. It was one person to another. And that has no effect upon the rulings of the law. So if you don't endorse me, then it's up to the House and Senate to impeach you by trial, which means if they impeach you, they are become in authority to by themselves empower me, since they will have done away with you. Yeah, I mean, let's get on the same team here, can we? I mean, I'd like to see the wall come into being myself. I'd like to be able to support you, but I can't support you while you're in criminal performance. Now, I've been trying to tell you that for the past damn year, you know, but you're so damn cocky and arrogant. You know, I think this is your comeuppance, and you're coming up to a woman who you empowered to that position, who you talk less of. You know, even the devil has certain rules of law that he has chosen by his role to follow. You know, and it's like the only way you can explain this to the rest of the assholes around you is you are put between a rock and a hard spot, the devil and the deep blue sea. And if we don't come to terms in this life, I'll catch you in the next one. Rules of law are made for everyone to follow. Yeah, so that we could be a shining example. Look forward to hearing from my attorney and my prosecutor. Thank you. Bye.